You are now listening to Sembang Panas Podcast.
Yo, what is up people?
Selamat datang ke lagi satu episod
Sembang Panas.
Suara kau rabak hari ni, aku baru perasan.
Dia
Double bass.
sexy.
Geli. By the way guys, jangan lupa podcast kita dibawakan khas kepada anda oleh tim ejen hartanah Ace Realtors SG untuk masyarakat
Demi masyarakat.
Jangan lupa untuk follow rakan-rakan kami di Instagram dan juga TikTok acerealtors.sg.
Dan jadi kalau korang nak jual rumah ke, beli rumah ke, tak payah pening-pening kepala, sila hubungi ejen-ejen yang bertauliah daripada Ace Realtors SG.
Korang juga boleh terus hubungi mereka di talian 88779923.
Dan
sabar.
Lupa
88779923.
Baik ada placing number dia
Betul.
8877
6235
Bodoh. Dan kita akan jumpa korang sebentar saja nanti. Let's go.
Podcast cakap betul, tak ada soro-soro. Ini podcast cakap betul, tak ada soro-soro. Ini podcast cakap betul, tak ada soro-soro. Ini podcast cakap betul, tak ada soro-soro. Siapa-siapa boleh go, semua kita undang. Siapa berani masuk, jangan sebat temberang. Alkisah bikin panas macam goreng pisang, itu sudah terang. Panggil semua geng yang minat untuk jom masuk ke langgang. Jom masuk studio, dan berapa banyak idol kita kasih sampai viral. Alkisah dapat title, ini Sembang Panas. It's not for the weak, ini Sembang Panas. Real love on the mix, boom. Sembang panas, 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 panas. Sembang panas, 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 panas. Sembang panas, 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 panas. Sembang panas, 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 panas.
Yo, what is up people?
Nama saya Aidi Isha.
Anazia.
Saiful Jazin.
Dan guys, dalam episod kita kali ni, kita ada special guest in the house. Tapi guest kita ni sungguh-sungguh special. Pasal guest ni was supposed to come on board last year.
Janji punya janji.
Dia Melayu habis lah kira.
Dia gotta keep the kemelayuan tu masih ada.
Masih ada dalam Melayu
lagi
lah.
ada.
Okay. So guys, kita ada dengan kita none other than Abang Ridwan Azman.
Apa khabar semua para pendengar Alkisah Production? Ni pertama kali podcast berbual bahasa Melayu. Not bad kan?
Okay.
Very good, very good.
Podcast berbual Melayu. Yang penting Ridwan boleh berbual Melayu.
Boleh.
Okay Wan, sebelum kita start, how are you bro? How's Ramadan for you?
Ramadan so far it started quite tiring because I had this idea to create a booth dekat Eco Harmony Festival Bucisat Bedok, and it has been very tiring. Tiba-tiba kena tarik pergi Shanghai untuk compete in a e-sport event.
E-sport event.
Habis tu patah balik, tiba-tiba kena panggil ambulance pergi hospital. Pasal kena food poisoning. So that is my Ramadan so far lah.
Aku dah cakap pergi Shanghai jangan makan babi, kau degil.
Tak ada.
Dendeng tu nampak dia.
Itu bakwa.
Kat sana susah makan ke?
Ada tapi diorang punya hygiene tak begitu betul lah.
Mungkin perut kau tak kuat lah.
Perut tak kuat, semua tak kuat kadang-kadang. Kadang-kadang kan macam rasa lembik je.
Tapi puasa dekat sana okey tak? Senang tak? You were there
it's-
for how
How's the
many
weather?
days?
The weather is 4 degree. So kat sana sejuk lah.
Sejuk gila babi.
Sejuk gila tapi okay lah. I prefer sejuk daripada panas lah.
Dia kalau sejuk kan cepat lapar.
Macam lain.
Tak, but I was really busy with
Apa? Kau lebih suka apa?
Aku lebih suka sejuk daripada panas lah.
Betul.
Dia tak tangkap.
Yang sejuk okey sikit. Dia tak addiktif sangat.
So cuaca tu, aduh, belum lagi 2 minit kat dalam. But compilation semua muka lost saja. But yeah, the cuaca is 4 degree. I think it has been the coldest country. I never been to any colder country, so it's my first time. Not only cuaca sejuk, Ramadan first day landing kat Shanghai. Habis tu dengan adik dengan shooting, because I got my adik to shoot for me, and I was busy with competing dengan competition tu. Stress tak ingat lapar.
Alright. Okay guys, we will get there soon. Kita akan tanya more about that later on. Tapi sebelum kita mula ni, boleh tak kenalkan diri? I know the younger generation definitely kenal kau. Kita punya generation definitely kenal kau. Mungkin ada pakcik-makcik yang tengah tengok lah siapa Mamat Korea ni yang kau bawa ni kan.
Oppa.
Kana.
What was that?
Because he looks like one.
No,
Because I'm one of the boomers.
no, it's not that. It's the way you say it.
Oppa.
Bagus ada.
All of the Korean drama I've been watching.
Betul lah, dia punya tajwid tu bagus lah.
Betul kan? Yes.
Kol ada.
No.
Okay, boleh lah.
Betulkan Riz.
Kenalkan diri sikit.
Okay, so semua kenal saya as Ridwan. Ada kenal daripada Boyz II Men because of the movie. Even though it's 12 years ago, Alhamdulillah diorang dah tengok watak that I play. Even though watak tu tak besar, tapi diorang ingat till today. Ada kenal as Ridwan yang nyanyi lagu Cina, and also daripada Chen Hao punya video lah. Pasal Chen Hao punya video dia buat Titan Academy and etc. Itu aja. Itu aja lah. Tak banyak orang kenal, tapi it's from different parts. So, because I've been doing this for 10 years, and I would say there's many random things I do. Even this bazaar thing is never I have thought macam nak buat bazaar bulan Ramadan. So random lah.
Yeah, okay. So I think ramai orang kenal kau, macam kau mention lah, from content creating itself. So aku nak I everybody knows that, but aku rasa not everybody knows kau punya story. Macam mana kau boleh terjelumus dalam dunia influencer dan content creator?
Terjelumus.
Pasal dia nak Melayu.
Aku tak tahu saya word tu.
Bagus.
It's a good word.
Jadi boleh tak kongsi dengan kita journey anda dalam content creating ni, Ridwan Azman? Silakan. Nampak radio.
Pada mulanya umur I think around 15 tahun, Ridwan masuk Campus Superstar in Channel U Mediacorp. So it was 15 years old, nyanyi lagu Cina. Kenapa nyanyi lagu Cina? The thing is because saya minat perempuan Cina. So
50.
yes.
Aku ingat nak cakap pasal ada Cina superstar yang kau suka ke apa tak?
Tak. Dia minat perempuan Cina. Dulu ada macam ada crush lah.
Ni umur berapa umur?
Umur 15.
So nak woo that Chinese girl lah.
So dia macam if I sing nanti dia kata I think she will notice me lah. So bila
Lagu
masuk tu
Wai Ni?
tak, my first Chinese song is Tong Hua.
Nyanyi sikit.
Tong Hua的我愿变成童话里你爱的那颗天使。
Baik pun.
Terus semua senyap Star Trek.
Aku tahu lagu Tong Ho, tapi dia macam club version ni. Tong.
Itu Cisco tu kan? Tahu tu dulu zaman lama.
Yes. Zaman gembira.
Rindu balik kembali kan.
Rindu balik.
So it started from minat perempuan Cina. Habis tu belajar satu lagu. Ingatkan nyanyi, lepas tu dapat keluar TV dah satu kali lah. Tapi dia masuk round after round, tiba-tiba kena belajar lebih daripada satu lagu. So I remember every round aku masuk, belum lagi kena eliminate, belajar lagi. And I always dapat 1 minggu untuk belajar lagu Cina. And kena belajar daripada dia punya higher opinion lah.
They give the song to you lah.
So kena faham dia punya maksud, pasal dia punya feeling tu mesti ada bila nyanyi.
Wait, so the first round yang kau masuk tu, kau only hafal that one song? Sialah.
So I didn't know macam pada Ridwan nyanyi macam sederhana je kan, masuk for fun aja. Atau tengok Cikis ke tengok tu, okay dah. Lepas tu masuk lagi. Tiba-tiba bila aku nak keluar ni?
So total dalam that whole competition berapa banyak lagu kau nyanyi?
By right 300 orang queue up. Suddenly tiba-tiba I'm top 12. Tiba-tiba top 6. Habis tu I'm the last guy to last in that competition. Second guy to last the competition. So
sampai final lah kira?
Sampai semi-final.
Semi-final.
That is 2009. So that started my media punya path when I had a bit of acknowledgement. Macam banyak orang macam kenal, this one Malay orang kaya Changhoi. After that I created a fan club. Ingat lagi 300 fans saja dalam Friendster.
Tak, sabar. So you were expecting to lose the first round, but then end up it goes on.
Yes.
Dia lain pada the ID went there to compete, but he lost during the first round.
Tetap kena masukkan
Tidak adil. Sungguh tidak adil. Okay, sabar. Tadi kau ada mention pasal kau punya nama fan club tu.
fan club.
Ni back in
2009.
2009. It must be fucking cringe right now. Apa nama fan club tu?
It's the same. It started with my name Ridwan, so letak Ridwan the Beast. Because I last time listen to Gwen Stefani. Tahu lagu Gwen Stefani kan? So dia ada fan club, nama dia semua Gwen the Beast. So I also like
inspired.
I also want the wannabe lah.
Okay.
And I feel when I create wannabe tu, my journey is to be myself. I want to be Ridwan. So okay lah, kena lah. Dia punya bunyi tu juga.
Ridwan Nabi. Nice.
Okay lah.
Is the fan club still around?
I don't think those people who support me will call themselves Ridwan the Beast lah. Tapi dia orang support aja lah. Tak payah label-labeling semua. Tak payah
So
main
from
baju.
300 sekarang dah grow lagi dah.
So diorang will call, they support me, but tak payah cakap I am a Ridwan the Beast. So it's a bit
Ada tak pernah orang pergi kat kau macam Ridwan, aku pun Ridwan Nabi?
tak ada lah. So
Mana tahu lepas episod ni keluar, then somebody might start.
But how big was your fan club back then?
started with Friendster punya group 300 people. Pada for me is 300 banyak. Banyak, and it's 2009. Internet belum lagi tu, Bali lagi. Bali kan.
Betul.
Okay. So it's surprising to see a lot of people tengok cerita tu pula, apa rancangan tu, and then dapat join this fan club and create this support lah.
Okay, your fan club ni was made up of, since it was a rancangan Cina kan? So was it like mostly Chinese atau orang Melayu?
Mesti semua China. Orang Melayu belum lagi kenal. Oh, in fact masuk majalah Manja sekali aja. Pasal I am the only peserta Melayu yang dapat ke top 12. Dapat satu artikel, dua artikel, gambar besar. Habis tu masuk I think I happen to see Hafiz Glamour in one of Manja's event. Habis tu Hafiz Glamour kan, dia kerja dengan Manja, dia kenal, ni Ridwan Azman. Mari sini. Okay, semua this is Ridwan, dia ada peserta, campus peserta. I remember semua makcik-makcik macam Siapa? Makcik-makcik tak kenal. But it's like okay lah, Hafiz Glamour kenal lah. And that was back in 2009. So I realised, okay, maybe I have a niche. Orang Cina je kenal.
Okay. So that's how kau punya first. Itu ni time kau belum start content creating at all?
Belum. Friendster belum lagi ada YouTube, belum lagi ada Instagram.
Okay.
So Friendster was my first. Habis tiba-tiba from 2009 fast forward to 2012 masuk A Boys to Men.
So you scouted ke macam mana? Atau you audition?
A Boys to Men ni.
Cerita sikit.
Okay, so A Boys to Men ni okay, so dia punya niat tu untuk, pasal tak ada kerja, so I followed my friend. Okay, shout out to Jack from Australia. Dia seorang Asian
Jack
yang datang
New.
bukan Jack New. Nama dia Jack New. NU.
Dia rupa tapi tak sama lah.
Jack New. So dia dah ada accent sikit, tapi dia Asian, Vietnamese mak dia kan. So dia macam, Ridwan, get a form, I'm going to this audition. Aku ni Australian.
Aku was expecting like a Vietnam punya accent.
Australian accent.
So I'm like, okay, but this one is all Chinese, this one Jack New, this one I cannot lie, I cannot act, I know how to sing. Then after that I wait outside like, Ridwan, just for the fun of it, let's go.
Oh, dia pun audition.
Dia audition. Dia yang act. Pasal as an Asian pergi Angmo country, tak dapat banyak opportunities. So datang Singapore, dia dapat banyak jobs. So dia rasa macam, Singapore ni banyak opportunity.
Dia
aku.
rupa jugalah.
Dia rupa dia macam Asian lah.
Pasal mix apa?
Okay, tak the mak bapak dia
Oh, okay.
hello, I am a Vietnamese macam itu. Tapi dia dilahirkan di Australia.
Okay, got it.
Kau baik. Kau boleh switch laju
Boleh lah macam, kau ada button, aku pun ada button. Ada.
Kira okay, silakan.
So bila masuk tu, ingat lagi masuk, duduk macam gini lah. Macam ni, miring macam gini. Habis tu ada macam hang ada macam babe, semua Cina-Cina. Habis tu fill up form, masuk, and then talk to a camera. Kamera ni macam gini exactly macam gini, besar macam gini. Then after that
Sebenarnya kita tengah casting kau juga. Casting kau. Nampak level sebelah kau.
Macam
Suara dia tak lebih seksi ni hari.
Okay, so dia tengah debut dengan aku. Okay, so cakap, okay, hi, my name is Ridwan, I am 19 years old, I am a Malay guy. Then fun fact about you, I like to sing Chinese song. Then normally I sang like those songs macam, you know, Zhou Jielun or Lin Junjie atau macam
Full.
aku pun dengar lagu Cina, tapi tu lagu confirm lama-lama
macam Jay Chou, JJ Lin,
Okay.
But I think I wanted to be a troll.
Okay.
Pasal mana lah nak masuk movie. Lagi pun I already told Jack, ni not for me, I am a penyanyi but not a pelakon. So I sing a Chinese song, tapi nyanyi lagu yang macam nenek moyang punya time.
Okay.
So tiba-tiba buka okay, I sing okay, 无言的结局当我要问我如何能停止再一次想你，我怎么能够我埋葬一切回忆。Lepas tu tiba-tiba dia macam, you sure you Malay or you Malay? Then I said, for fun. So I thought like, Jack, that's not funny. I thought it was funny lah. Then next week dapat result.
Tak on the spot.
So
okay.
Jack tak dapat watak, saya yang dapat.
Kesian Jack.
Tapi dia kata, Ridwan, I'm so happy for you. I just want to see Jack Neo. Okay, then you follow me. So I remember I take the script. Jack, this is my friend Jack. He want to say hi. Hello, I'm a fan of you. Hello. Okay, I see you outside. Okay.
Tapi yang kau pergi audition tu ramai orang tak ke?
Dia macam it's like tak banyak orang. Pasal I think back then Jack Neo was not very hot. I think there's ups and downs in everyone's career. I think that time dia a bit down. And tak banyak orang believe in this movie. Pada diorang macam, dia buat movie. Pasal dia punya high time dulu macam money not enough, I'm not stupid.
Sekolah
So during that downtime dia rasa macam, I think nobody give a damn. Ada banyak kata macam, dia ada panggil macam Noyap atau Tosh Rock untuk naikkan nama. But for me, I wasn't invited. I was tak ada kerja.
Okay.
And tak, macam Campus Superstar in Abang Stuman, tiba-tiba masuk. Habis when I open the booklet, I remember banyak ni tebal ni skrip. Habis tu dapat watak, ada tak salah 12 main cast ke 20 main cast. Tapi ada lebih line, ada main, ada second main. So I'm like, but I got school lah, I got ITE . But if you're studying and you cannot commit, we cannot get you lah.
Alamak.
Sayang sih kalau.
Then after that I call, Ibu, I need to quit school. Quit. Tak tanya pasal apa. My mother really believe. Then I call my lecturer, I said, sorry, I really love to complete my studies, events management dulu, ITE Bishan. I cannot, I really am struggling. I think I need to work. Then hang up. I need to work to become movie actor lah.
Dia pun tak tanya. Kira lecturer pun tak tanya.
Actually lecturer tak tanya pasal selalu failing pun. Dia agaknya dah dia macam,
finally
I knew it.
Sampai yang penting mak kau pun tak tanya
My mom never once asked about what I do, because dia believe in whatever I do. I don't masuk tercerumong dalam bidang-bidang yang tak begitu sihat lah. Terceromong dalam terceromong tu
aku tak tahu, aku tak pernah dengar. Kau jangan keluar ke komen DJ radio kat sini. Belum sampai tau.
Tercerubus kan.
Yelah, terjerumus lah.
Tak begitu mendalami dalam bidang-bidang yang tak begitu sihat. So normally masuk yang seni. Kalau dari kecil dulu masuk bengkel-bengkel yang diadakan di sekolah kan, kata macam nak masuk pertandingan Sahiba. Tahu tak Sahiba kan?
Tahu, debate.
Spelling.
Bukan.
Scrabble
lah spelling.
Aku thought aku did something there. Scrabble.
Kau rasa bodoh sekarang kan? Macam aku bila korang cakap bahasa Melayu.
Debate.
Sekarang dia full Malay mode.
Itu pasal
That is like radio Ria mode already.
dia bouncing off my algorithm though. I don't know what the hell is talking about.
Okay, you nak kena lower the level a bit already.
Dia nak tunjuk skill.
Tak, tapi
ada
memang
sebab dia nak kena tunjuk skill. Nanti kita sampai
Okay,
kat
kita
hujung
tanya
tu.
dia. Okay, go.
Okay, so masuk pertandingan. I tak masuk bengkel Sahiba, masuk bengkel apa tu? Syair. Ada
Sajak,
lah.
all that.
Sajak.
So you
Everything.
were the good boy in school
I
lah,
really
basically.
love bahasa Melayu. Really. Tapi bila start belajar lagu Cina semua, Melayu dia pun dia punya level stop learning.
Yelah, suka perempuan Cina.
Itulah tiba-tiba tak ada peribahasa semua Cina punya.
Kalau kau continue ikut suka perempuan Melayu, mungkin kau dah masuk gos kan?
Masa gos. Aduh, wow, not bad Handsome.
Mana tahu.
Aduh, tapi it's still there. Akar umbi tu sebagai anak Melayu must be there kerana I feel very pressure. Tengoklah muka dorang. Bila berbual Melayu je gini.
Surya taking notes. Bulan bahasa
Bulan bahasa.
boleh panggil.
Terima kasih semua para pendengar Alkisah Production. But yeah, it has been random from Campus Superstar, Boys to Men. Habis tu tiba-tiba social media muncul kerana ada Instagram, YouTube. And I was just doing covers. Pasal covers nobody wanted macam nak buat nama tau.
Okay.
It was for the passion. Sekarang I feel social media lain. Sekarang is for the numbers. Kau ada berapa banyak view, kau ada berapa banyak follower. But dulu is aku buat cover kat bawah kolong blog, kemana. So tahu lagu tu?
Tahu. Budak Melayu kalau tak tahu bukan Melayu.
That's why mesti akar umbi sebagai anak Melayu sebenarnya.
Kau tahu tak Saiful?
Tak tahu.
Kemana
Lagu apit.
Aku betul-betul kemana lah kepala ni.
Dia nak ke laut.
Dia dah lost.
But yeah, it's all has been passion from social media. Yeah, only recently, I would say recently, because my company is private limited for like over 6 years. But my career wise, tak tahu mana dia start. Pasal social media wise 10 years. My company 6 years. And yeah, 2009 tu buat apa? It is always for you never know. Just keep on doing things.
So yang aku nak tanya, yang from Boys to Men tu, like bila kau kira kau dah base Campus Superstar tu, so kau dah ada this fan club. So when kau brought it over to, when you went over to do Boys to Men, did the fan club grow ke?
There are
Or
some
was
people,
it a change or total?
it is way bigger. So dulu kan Friendster 300. I saw my first time in my life Bugis Plus tu kan. My first time lah. So okay, but I was late for this fan meet. Okay, just
Ada fan meet.
ada fan meet.
Boys to Men ada fan meet. Okay.
So our first fan meet, I remember after the movie belum keluar lagi, ada 12 orang aja dekat Plaza Sing. Habis pada tu kita macam okay lah, 12 orang, siapalah kita kan. I remember standing on stage.
Wait, seriously?
First-
A fan meet and there was only 12 people there to
First
see you
ever
guys.
Boys to Men. First ever.
That means tu promotion
Wait,
lah.
12 people to see you or 12 people to see the whole crew?
12 people standing and 12 people standing there.
Shit.
So it's so small. Tetapi lepas movie tu dah keluar, and then the first biggest fan meet I saw was Bugis Plus. So it was 3,000 people.
Wow.
Oh my god,
So
jam.
okay, imagine Bugis Plus kan, korang tahu mana Cotton On tu, mana so Cotton On tak, Uniqlo. So the first floor full, second floor full, third floor full, semua full. Bila masuk Bugis Plus pun full. Because I was late, then supposed to be enter back door, masuk front door. Kang pekik. Sorry, I late. Sorry, hello, sorry. But then after that, I had to be
Sikit-sikit
escorted.
datang
Then I
Kira kau
remember
superstar habis
It was my first time. I would say, tak tahulah, InsyaAllah mungkin fan meet masa depan makin besar atau makin kurang, I don't know. But Alhamdulillah, for the first time ever, I got to achieve signing autograph kan. Mula-mula cantik lah. Macam mana nak buat autograph ni Read one hard shit. Okay lah. Habis dah 3,000 ni. So, ni dah 2 jam lepas.
Gila, tangan
So
mesti dah
read
krem-krem
one jadi read. I think the last few is R. Benar lah. Habis tu kita naik bus. I remember from the Bugis Plus, they drive off to the road there, nak masuk Nafas sana. People are chasing the bus.
Wow.
Abos tu was very big.
Kira ni nak macam Korea
I
punya
think
level
it was during the I think psychologically the fans were strong in orang tak rasa malu untuk memberi support
Untuk show that support.
To show that love.
Back then there was Directioners lah atau Believers. That period of time kan is before the K-pop era. It
Correct,
was more
correct.
of I would do anything So it was nice to see them appreciating and to show dedication, and it makes us want to do even more. So from there I would say from 300 Friendster naik lagi. Then I think it was on Twitter. Then I got my first 10K.
And this was how old again?
This is 2012. I was 20.
20 at that young age.
So after 15 then 20. Then after that I started making YouTube videos and Instagram and TikTok, and then
everything falls into place lah basically.
Yeah.
Okay, aku nak tanya. Aku rasa ramai orang nak tahu ni juga. Aku don't know whether kau pernah buka this thing or not. From A Boys to Men, yang first tu, since it was a very big movie, meletup, kau dapat nama, kau jadi artis. Gaji berapa dapat?
Gaji okay. So back then gaji
It's a
kita
good question.
tak banyak. Pasal siapalah kita kan ambil daripada bawah kolong blok, anak angkat itu.
Aku salah lagu.
So dulu the amount kan, I would say I used to be a part-time banquet.
Okay.
My family wasn't doing very well, so lepas sekolah IT pergi kerja banquet, dapat daily cash 100, yay, dah cukup boleh top up high card normally
Yeah,
dulu
high
kan.
card dulu, yeah.
So it was enough for me. But then I was offered the contract and said, okay, you need to commit this amount of period of filming and this amount of period of promo. And then when they give this amount, I'm like, banyak ni. Tapi because compared to my other jobs, tak banyak. So tak ada nama apa. So I just accept. I mean from there I realised now I can charge even more because ada nama, ada exposure and everything lah.
So
Berapa tu?
Yeah.
Kau yang political sangat ni.
Tak banyak lah. Tak banyak. Kalau banyak tadi aku drive
Kasih
Lamborghini.
range lah, kasih range.
Okay, 4 digit, 5 digit.
Yeah.
Adalah. Tapi tak banyak. Mungkin pada orang berjuta ni movie ni, tapi tak dapat berjuta lah.
Okay.
Tapi dia punya exposure tu, it led to for me to charge even higher, even more.
Okay. Tadi kau ada mention pasal kau punya your family was not doing very well. Aku rasa aku nak go a bit deeper. So we did a little bit of background check, and we actually found some interesting information, especially on Titan punya website. So there was this one line that was mentioned: as a result of the divorce, the family was homeless for a while and sought refuge at a number of relatives' homes. In his words, Ridwan was forced to grow up to be a pillar of support for his mother and younger siblings. Do you mind sharing dengan kita tak?
Kau FBI ke apa? Aku dah lama tak tap on this, but
so actually what happened, like how were you growing up actually?
heavy tiba-tiba imbas kembali.
By the way, tadi kita dekat bawah, kita jemput Ridwan lah kan. Kita tengok kau dari tak ada apa-apa lah.
I'm ready.
Let's go.
Okay lah.
Kau nak feel sikit?
Tak apa-apa lah. But I think if I never go through that period of time, bila susah, because my parents divorced when I was 9. It was hard for me because my dad had an affair, and then my mom separated, and after that, things was not doing very well lah. So we didn't get the house. Bila didn't get the house, yes, my mom had a support for my back then stepdad.
Okay.
Tetapi kita tak berkemampuan. So I remember there were nights where we would sleep in the lorry pasal dia kerja movers. So I would sleep in the lorry dekat Changi Beach. So buka sikit, ada encel tu, so baring, habis tu bangun pagi mandi kat
Isi
toilet
toilet
dekat Changi punya toilet lah. And then after that, I think there were times also I do not know whether I can share or not, but okay lah, I admit lah, I stole Oh aduh.
Ni dulu.
Jangan buat macam gini ya, potong tangan kau Okay. My mom was sick. So I wanted to masak untuk my mom. So we were very hungry. Then I thought, Mom, never mind, I got idea. Ambil FairPrice punya plastic bag, masuk dalam, letak ayam, letak sayur, keluar, habis kena tangkap. Boy, you got pay for this? Ingat lagi. Dia grab ke tangan. Follow me.
At 9.
That was when I was 12. So it's like a perceraian tu is, it may look like a 1 minute event. Aku ceraikan kau dengan talak something, but it is years of trauma to the children sometimes. There's a lot of struggles that they have to go through. So I was trying to prove myself that I can support my mom who wasn't so strong on her own.
You are the eldest child lah.
Eldest dari dulu I still remember I had to like mature faster than the rest because tak ada time untuk nak belajar. Kadang-kadang macam tak ada time. Niat tu nak belajar jauh sampai poli, sampai diploma, tapi I had to quit school. I had to Ponten
Ponteng
lain.
Itulah
Cina ni set dah keluar.
Ponten Tom balik.
But kau adik-beradik berapa orang by the way?
Dari asalnya is same father same mother kan. Is 2 adik.
Okay.
Then after that slowly ada 2 lagi, ada 2 lagi, ada 3 lagi. My mom married a few times, and my dad also married a few times. Some even married to spouses that had previous marriages. But to me, perkataan tiri tu dari dulu dididikan jangan pakai tiri-tiri. To me, everyone is family. Adik ni adik setengah ke, adik suku ke, semua adik. So I had to create an example. So I had to work hard. Then yeah, things was hard lah. I did mention about the sleeping.
It came out.
Wow.
Chen Hao, he'll call you in a bit. So that whole scenario actually made you like have to like what you mentioned lah, mature a bit
Mature
faster.
fast. Even Chen Hao pun pernah nampak. Dulu I was struggling, and Chen Hao wasn't rich. Chen Hao was like a NS boy. But I said, because I sometimes was proud of how I am I play life like a GTA mode. Look how I tailgate a person in an MRT. Habis tu kena tangkap.
Kena tangkap juga.
Kena tangkap. Tu kena bayar saman. So I think dah serik lah. All this, it's because I didn't want to do the easy way out, but I had no choice. Kadang-kadang nak balik pun tak ada duit tambang bas. Nak korek-korek $1 kat sini sana. So hard lah.
Aku rasa aku tahu asal kau selalu kena tangkap. Kau terlalu tinggi ya, Duk.
Wait,
Dia nak kena tangkap tu.
habis lagi dulu colourful hair semua. I think not doing very well lah.
When was the point in your life where you feel like everything changed, like that everything went smooth finally?
Went smooth finally. I think when nothing is smooth. There is always ups and downs. So macam bila time 15 tu kita rasa nampak ada result je bila kita perform. Banyak orang memberi sokongan dengan seni kita bila kita nyanyi. Habis tu kita macam wow, kita kasi support. Habis tu bila 20 banyak support, tapi ada downs because I was maturing and certain things where it didn't turn out so well. I just feel like okay. Then there were a lot of struggles growing up as a guy. From a boy to a man, and a man you shall be for the rest of your life. It's not very easy. Yeah.
Okay, aku nak tanya juga, in the website ni it was also mentioned that even though both your parents are Malay, kau like to be Chinese, and that is how nama Cina kau came about. Ren Yi Xiang.
Okay, so I actually don't like people telling me I like to be Chinese. I don't think I want to be Chinese. It's a bit weird to want to be another race.
Correct.
And it defeats the purpose of me saying I want to be me. That's why Ridwanabe dikeluarkan. I want to be Ridwan.
Correct.
And not anyone else. And if I want to change a single part of Ridwan, I will not be the full Ridwan. Because every single component makes a whole Ridwan.
Correct.
So kalau Akak Umpi tu sebagai anak Melayu, you are ashamed to be yourself, your own race. It will not do well. So I felt my angle was not to be terkongkong sebagai anak Melayu, but to be broadened. Let's say kita selalu dapat inspirasi daripada negeri-negeri yang daripada barat, how they do the podcast, the movies, or the songs. Tapi kita pun dapat daripada asal-usul K-pop. So kita ambil sikit and we create our own.
Correct.
And there is also the parts of us that we will still keep. Akar umbi tu macam semangat gotong royong, atau how I appreciate seni bangsawan, which I think recently I've been more active in. So there should be something that you keep in the akar umbi, and there should be something be inspired from the other sources, but I am still me. I am not trying to be Chinese. I'm not trying to be even Malay. I'm trying to be Ridwan. Yeah.
Background nama tu mana datang tu?
So I realise there are certain things, bila kita datang ke Russia, kita kena cara ikut Russia. So bila nak masuk bidang nyanyian Cina, I feel semua artis-artis yang masuk bidang Cina ni, diorang ada nama Cina. Even Gurmit Singh pun ada nama Cina. So I realise, okay, I create nama Cina lah. So bila create nama Cina ni, I don't know how to create. So I call my friend. I remember dia tak faham berbual English, but somehow dia buat nama ni Ren Yi Xiang. Ren dia ada makna, Yi dia ada makna, Xiang dia ada makna. So he gave me that name, and nama dia tak macam menonjol sangat lah, macam step, tapi nama dia macam relax. Ren Yi Xiang macam orang jual bubble tea tu. Macam budak-budak nama Rani Siang, nama macam model ke tak dengan Rani Siang macam
like a normal
macam
typical name
typical Melayu name, normal, jangan handsome. Macam Syarul handsome kan, tapi macam Zainuddin.
You know how many Zainuddin is gonna come at you after this?
Zainuddin kau handsome.
Zainuddin yang handsome.
You get what I mean lah. Alauddin. Okay, now I name two people. Okay. I want a normal name. So that's a normal Chinese name, but nama gelaran. Tapi nama gelaran ni cuma orang Cina yang pakai, and it became more popular bila I created this watak as a nerdy guy in Chain House videos, and I call myself Ren Yi Xiang.
Macam sekolah-sekolah.
So I wanted to not be Ridwan, I want to be Ren Yi Xiang, pasal it's another watak, and why not I just promote my Chinese name. So now that watak is Ren Yi Xiang. So everyone say, hey, Ren Yi Xiang, Ren Yi Xiang.
My kids know you as that also. Yeah.
Serious?
Yeah. Ingat semua dialog dia semua.
Oh, wait, your kids are consuming
Yes,
content.
Consuming.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Aku dengar salah. Dia cakap your kids are consuming. Aku consuming apa?
Content lah.
English tak bagus, Melayu tak bagus, apa ni?
So with the appearance of kau punya Chinese name ni, did that give like macam any backlash ataupun hatred thrown to you, like especially from kita ni Malay community? Pernah tak kena?
The thing is, and the haters are always from everywhere. I have haters from Malay side and have haters from Chinese side. Chinese side kata macam,这个马来人为什么 you know? And the Malay side kata, alah ni step Cina. Habis ni tak suka aku mana sah? So I'm like, since I don't focus on the negativity, because there is always negativity in both sides, but there is also positivity. Because this Chinese side will say, 哇，这个马来人真的很厉害，可以讲华语个。Dan kata, Melayu ni bagus ah, dia naikkan nama di Melayu. I still remember that. Pasal there are some people who will support and will hate, even though you're Malay or Chinese.
So you only take the good parts ah.
Yeah, I only hear the good things.
Yeah.
Macam mana? I think tak semua orang can be able to do that, you know. Especially lagi dengan zaman sekarang punya, you know, the hate comments and everything. Not everybody can just simply push it aside. You know, did it not affect kau even a single bit? You know, definitely mesti ada satu dua yang kira menusuk kalbu.
The haters, I think the hardest comment that I ever gotten was from I think tak salah dulu nama dia SMRT tapi bukan SMRT
Vigilante bukan?
I think so.
Feedback, SMRT feedback.
And then I think I posted my dad passed away.
Oh, okay.
Then after that I think there was a hashtag called it's like that. So dia pun nak pakai hashtag tu. Dia tweeted then I said I'm going through hard time, I'm losing my dad. Then after that I lost my dad. Then after that I posted I'm breaking down lah. Habis kat Twitter tiba-tiba keluar, oh you lost your dad, it's like that.
Iyalah.
Wow. I think that one hit the most, because you can slap me when I'm fine, But when I'm down, you slap me and rasa dia sakit lagi.
Yalah.
Did you try to like macam find orang tu ke macam mana?
No lah, I mean dah dunia hiburan kan. Kalau nak kata lah, sometimes I reply. Kadang-kadang ada bad days I feel like okay, I really didn't care about consequences atau good imaging back then. Kalau orang kata apa-apa, I say your mother lah, you just cari aku lah. I just chill lah. Sekejap Melayu, sekejap Cina, cium lah. Aku tak faham, aku pening sah.
Dia faham sesuai marik kau keluar.
Ada kadang abang kira Anjek tak ada, belum download lagi lah. So
kena buat nama.
Aduh. So bila there were times where I was annoyed. Pasal let's say I will go to an event. They are very berani. Dan ingat pasal Ridwan buat watak macam kelakar-kelakar. Dia macam okay lah, such a pushover. Habis tu jalan pump bank,
kira boleh makan lah. Budak boleh
pump
makan
bank. Habis tu cakap, habis dia kata meet me outside. I go outside.
Dia ajak one to one ke?
I'll go outside. I will go outside. There are 5 people. I go outside 1 person. I just go. Tapi the thing is kan, make sure ada jauh sikit ada orang lah.
Ada witnesses lah.
Ada jauh sikit lah. Jangan solo lah.
Dia nak tunjuk berani tapi ada backup plan lah.
Backup plan. Tapi gentleman, I said I don't bring my friend. You well, asal kau benci aku sangat. Kalau aku buat apa-apa dengan mak kau ke adik kau ke, aku suka buat aku punya content. Kau nak bingit sangat buat apa? So to me I feel like okay, it's unavoidable. So whenever I see haters, diorang boleh berbual banyak, tapi kalau nak berbual one to one, diorang nak bingit buat apa? Tak ada kerja apa. So yalah.
Ada kes gaduh tak? Like literal.
Ada
Like bertumbuk kan gaduh?
tumbuk. Ya, tumbuk.
Then you got hurt?
No, the thing is,
Oh, he got hurt.
so remember,
Correct. Good question. Who got hurt?
So satu come, then I also come. Then after that dia kata macam, Ridwan, dia berbual nonsense lah. Then I say, oh okay, okay. Pasal agaknya dia ambil gambar, habis belakang Ridwan situ, habis dia macam tunjuk middle finger apa kan. Habis kata, got a lot of likes on my photo, I show you middle finger. Okay lah, cause got my face what, got only your face who don't have likes lah. Dia tak happy. Kawan dia macam Zara. Habis dia terus datang macam sucker punch. Tahu sucker punch kan? Tiba-tiba pump jatuh. Then remember I got a friend kan, dari jauh, Ridwan ada datang. Dia pun kena tumbuk. So kerebak.
Alamak.
Then after that, for budak tu NS. And then after that I like,
Budak NS
ada 11B, polis datang. Habis tu tanya asal what happened. Then I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with this guy lah. You want to talk lah, nak berbual lah. Habis tu tiba-tiba sucker punch. Habis tu depan polis pun dia kata, why you want to still come one-on-one? Then I'm like, police sing crazy. Police lah, you want to do anything? I don't know. Go home.
Dah soal kita lah.
Dia agaknya dia nak tunjuk kawan-kawan dia hebat. Dia dapat kasih kicap di dalam sebab. Tapi okay, one bleed, okay dah. Tapi kau nak bingit asal apa? Aku rasa there's so many things you can do. Not everything requires a reaction in life.
Betul.
So okay lah, tu je lah.
Alright. But the thing is, I think of macam tadi kita mention, there are some people yang macam cakap, oh dia ni nak step Cina, nak step apa, you know, and all that. Aku on the other hand, aku kind of mad respect to you, because dalam banyak content creator, especially orang Melayu kita, like aku nampak kau like the only one yang betul-betul kira pecah habis tau. Masuk into the Chinese market.
Macam tadi macam aku, sekarang kau pula macam aku.
And that itself is definitely
dapat tembus lah.
And that itself is something yang ramai content creator nak bikin, especially us lah, because kita punya the Melayu market is just that, you know. It is just that once kau dah jejak semua, everybody knows you and then you're done. You know, nak tembus to the Chinese market is something yang very very hard. Pasal Cina punya content creator dah banyak. So it's like, why do I need you, that kind. Betul tak? So the question yang aku nak tanya, why the Chinese market?
Okay, I feel it's all about the numbers game. So I didn't plan all this. Bila nyanyi lagu Cina, pasal awet Cina kan. Masuk movie Cina, pasal kawan Cina suruh masuk audition. So it has always been aku termasuk sini, termasuk sini. Ada masuk juga bidang-bidang yang apa, benda-benda yang
Melayu.
Aduh. Then I tried masuk anugerah semua. Dan kelakarnya tu masuk anugerah top 50. Tapi masuk China masuk jauh top 12. Mungkin so there are certain ways where okay, maybe I better sing Chinese song lah. And I realize you always struggle to be the number one. Why not be the only one? So my that if you become number one today, tomorrow ada another number one. But if you become the only one today, you will always be the only one Ridwan.
Tu kirakan kau selit kau slogan lah tadi.
Okay, but other than that itself, like macam but yeah, you know, macam to continue being in that market itself, there's definitely a reason why. And like I think I asked you before, like, is it income wise? You know, there's that, because we definitely hear the difference. You know, yang China punya market are more brave, I would say, to just campak bigger amount of money compared to most Malay businesses. Like, is that true ke macam mana?
In terms of like marketing wise, kita pernah dengar kan, selalu dia kata, Melayu punya selalu singkit. Tak pernah dengar cakap Cina singkit. Tapi okay lah, I saw the numbers, the statistics show there are more Chinese people, and it's easier for me to create that attention, that eyeballs for my content. So it's a numbers game. But it is also a struggle because as much as I nampaknya senang, tapi there were struggles where during Boyz II Men I was the only Malay guy. I saw ada Noah, ada Tosh, semua ada support lebih, slightly lebih. But back then my adaptation to the Chinese market macam aku baru masuk, tapi rasa macam aku anak tiri. Ada rasa kadang-kadang anak tiri. So I realise kena do better, do my own path. So bila diorang kata bila kau main next movie, tak, I do my own thing. Tengok, tiba-tiba buat hal sendiri, buat nama sendiri, tiba-tiba dengan Chen Hao. Back then Chen Hao, I still remember, ingat that 3,000 people tu. Chen Hao was there in the crowd, looking in the crowd, and nobody knew him. And I still remember, Chen Hao, kita makan prata lah. One day you should also name your fan club. I'm not in a movie like you. What am I gonna name my fan club? Children. Then after that,
ini zaman korang buat YouTube sama-sama.
One day you'll be more famous than me. Trust me. And all I need from you, guess apa?
Give me job.
No.
Okay.
Boleh minta macam-macam loh. Macam-macam boleh minta. Tapi
kau minta Mata Cina.
Aku minta write a book when I pass away. Write a book about me when I pass away, so you can tell my story. But a bit regret lah. Boleh minta Lamborghini ke.
Dia kirakan during that time dia nak jadi, how to say, stay connected, you know, in certain sense. Tapi lepas tu dia macam fuck this shit.
Kontrak masih boleh renew.
Tapi dia kita ada pergaduhan between me and Chino last time, man.
Yeah, it was a big one, right?
So tapi hati tu masih tetap sahabat. So kadang-kala when I'm going through certain struggles, he can see lah from online, he will try to wish me Selamat Hari Raya or Happy Birthday, or try to
keep in touch lah.
Keep in touch or reconcile. But I think I was the more merajuk type.
Kau yang ego.
Aku ego besar.
Ni yang Melayu.
So after that we reconcile. After 2 tahun tak berbual, merajuk buruk, serius. 2 tahun tak berbual, tiba-tiba berbual. Kita we swap. Kita last night hit you, you last night hit me. But
what was the thing that made korang macam reconnect back together?
I think it's just a random day where I DM dia balik lah. Because dia selalu he always made the first move. He has a big heart. But I'm like, okay lah, aku bila nak meninggal dulu, nanti bila aku tua, who are my sahabat sejati, you know, who are my friends. And I thought about it. Chen Hao was there.
Okay, aku nak tanya kau also, like so we covered about the Chinese market punya income wise. How about exposure wise? Is there any difference? Because kau definitely have had jobs with the Malay side also, kan? Is there any difference macam exposure wise, macam bila kau buat dengan Melayu punya side, exposure as much saja, bila kau buat dengan Cina punya side, exposure lebih ke? Was there any difference?
I mean, I can't compare fully and say Melayu punya side because I haven't menjerubusi
Yang faham, yang tahu-tahu lah.
Mencerubusi.
I'm tempted to
YT.
actually Google tau. Apa ni mencerubusi, ada ke tak?
Ada.
Ada at least.
Ada. Mencerubusi dalam
Terus on the spot dia pakai.
Dia macam don't make me doubt myself. Tapi dia kat luar dah confirm alright, got it.
Internally he knew he was right, you know.
Aduh. No such thing. Ada asal kau gini. Mencebuhi. Menuhuhi.
Okay dah.
Okay, so mendalami lah. Okay. Mendalami dalam dunia Melayu ni, I think in Singapore memang kecil. Pasal kita kan negeri kecil kan. So kalau kat Malaysia dengan Indonesia belum lagi masuk. So tak boleh fully say Melayu side no opportunity. But I feel that there is a lot more for me to adapt. Dengan cara-cara dunia media dalam Malaysia, kalau buat salah silap, dia punya habits of how the audience are and how the artists are, the political games and everything is very intense and very deep lah. And orang Melayu kita everything linked to religion. So I'm not the most pious Muslim person, but takkan lupa lah agama. But the thing is, sometimes they were like, ni tak boleh, tu tak boleh, and it's very difficult for me to adapt. And not because lupa akar umbi tu semua, tapi I think of upbringing and everything. So yeah, and also for exposure wise for Chinese side, I think it's like I stand out from semua muka putih-putih, aku muka macam coklat. Stand out. Tapi bila aku masuk dalam coklat dengan all the coklat, dah macam apa Cadbury dah, macam very hard. The struggle is, I would say, ni ada yang senang, ni pun ada senang, dua-dua ada yang senang.
Okay, alright.
Betul.
How about gatekeeping punya culture? I'm not sure, but definitely we all have heard before and might even experience before, especially dengan macam for myself, even bila time baru nak start, baru nak naik, you know, there were already people ataupun macam YouTubers, content creator yang dah dekat atas. You know, yang dah kita nampak in our eyes yang baru nak start ni dah made it lah. So bila tanya, ada yang tak nak share, ada yang macam kau nak start, okay, cakap but then just gitu-gitu je, you know, those kind of vibe that you get. Kau boleh tahu apa bila orang share betul-betul dengan ikhlas hati nak tolong kau naik, dengan ada yang kasih untuk kau just shut up, that kind. That is the Chinese punya community ataupun for content creators like that ataupun different?
I think it's more of bukan kerana Chinese or Malay, but it's individu. I think it's a very competitive market, especially ramai orang nak jadi influencer. So be it Melayu ke Cina ke, I see there are people who will be helpful, kasih semua tip. I can tell you from A to Z macam mana nak jadi Ridwan, from A to Z kau buat lah. Tapi the thing is, semua ada rezeki masing-masing. I can give you whole textbook, I can give you workshop, tapi there is timing for everything. Like what I did back then, the timing cun-cun, Allah berikan rezeki, dia punya timing, everything just fall into place. I did not plan, I did not want to become famous atau buat nama. In fact, I was just doing things for fun because stress pasal tak ada duit. Betul lah.
Okay, so aku punya next question ni, since kau known macam I would say lah, macam it was known that you prefer the other market because of more opportunities for growth and everything. Nak tanya, macam mana kau boleh terjebak jadi DJ radio baru-baru ni?
Itulah, I think opportunity ni datang, I think because I think dunia TV dan dunia radio dan dunia internet, they realize not only they are good in their own thing, they need each other.
Okay.
So sometimes they get opportunities where they can collaborate and strengthen each other's platform. And yeah, it is also an eye-catching thing to just get Ridwan to berbual Melayu. And I think when I got the opportunity for 16 weeks untuk jadi DJ Melayu, and I was like nervous. I even told my mother said, kau berbual Melayu macam Cina masuk Islam, kau nak masuk apa? Cina masuk Islam. I'm like, okay. So I tried. Yeah, so it was fun. I had guidance from from mentors, and it was not so pressurizing. So just jadikan sempoi. I thought kena berbual bahasa Melayu dengan very
Baku.
baku. But I think modern times, as long as you are orang memahami jalan cerita atau perbualan itu, people are fine. Make it engaging.
It's not as strict as last time lah.
Yeah, but there are certain things where bahasa Melayu tu kita kena jagalah. Jangan jadi kotorkan.
So yang DJ ni kira kau dipanggil atau kau sendiri offer dia?
Ada dipanggil lah for 16 weeks.
Oh.
So it was like, okay, why not?
Actually aku realise tau, dia main cerita kan, semua memanggil ni tau. Dia buat benda ni, buat for fun, you know. Then after that it becomes something. Then after you go to the next one, then after I just do it for fun, then become something again. Yeah.
Rezeki.
Tiba-tiba tau masuk podcast ni, tiba-tiba Kang KL Gangster, tak tahu.
Dia dah standby tak. Dia pasal dia tadi kasih dia ni skrip tadi. Lupa kat luar. Dia kasih skrip dia.
Tu audition senyap je. Senyap. Yeah.
And then now pula after that radio thing, and then now tiba kau jual buka booth jual noodle dekat Bazar Ramadan. Is it ada yang tanya jugalah, is it kau rindu market Melayu ke, ataupun Cina kau dah conquer, sekarang kau nak patah balik? It's time for me to conquer the Malay market back ke, macam mana?
To me, it has always been in me. Anak Melayu. Apa kata-kata tu, tidak hilang di dunia Melayu. Melayu
hilang di dunia.
Ya. Aku hilang maksud semua. I feel like time to time, sometimes I would try to masuk benda yang macam more cultural to Malay people. Like let's say buka bazaar. It also felt like bulan Ramadan I like to do something fun, which is to cook for people berpuasa. I think ada berkat lah. And it's not that ada strategi ni Melayu, ni Cina, everything tak ada strategi. If you guys listen to the whole entire podcast, I know strategy people, you know. I'm very anyhow, you know. I just buat asal boleh.
I recognize the accent.
I'm shocked. Aku pernah appear in one of Ridwan your video, and aku can attest to that. Dia macam tak ada direction tau. That
No direction. It's just
okay, kau bikin ni, okay dah. Gitu lah. Kau try bikin ni, kau.
bila kau buat tak ada skrip.
There was no script at all. So is all your videos like that? Like
kalau yang klien kena ada skrip lah. Kena ada skrip. Tapi yang tak ada klien, we just baru-baru ni I just shot one for Al-Azhar. So
5 types of Al-Azhar juga.
5 types of, bukanlah, tapi untuk makan makanan. Promo dia punya makanan. Tapi I love it when the client give me because sometimes you need to sit on the set. Tengok dia punya setting, tengok dia punya lakonan. Okay, energy dia macam gini, aku kena berbual macam gini, aku kena berbual macam gini ke. Ada macam that is seni. It is there and then, and dalam daripada lubuk hati tu keluar.
Alright. Okay, aku rasa kita dah sampai ke penghujung kita punya podcast dengan Ridwan ni. But did you just like
tak pasal bukan puasa mula ketepak.
Tapi sabar dulu. Sembang panas kan? Mesti ada soalan-soalan panas sikit lah.
Tu tak panas.
Teaser.
Tak cukup panas tadi.
Tadi tu teaser.
Tu tadi sembang sejuk.
Okay, so kita dah siapkan a few question yang panas-panas lah. So kita me, Saiful and Kak Ada will take turns to ask you the question. So let me start the ball rolling. The first question, being in the Chinese market, pernah tak ada Malay community categorize kau as macam Cina celuk ke, Mamat ni lupa daratan ke? Pernah tak receive any kind of like those kind of comments?
I think comments directly tak pernah. Tapi ada rasa lah dia punya renungan daripada tepi, not only by the viewers, by penonton semua, but it's from kadang-kadang artis-artis tau. Artis-artis, not just social media, kadang-kadang TV, kadang-kadang tengok macam ni sini budak Melayu ni.
Puk nama sikit.
Tak boleh. But I can feel lah, I can feel macam
the vibe coming from them.
I mean, I get it, you are a senior in this whole media scene, but sekarang it's my time now. But why must be nasty? Takkan tak boleh macam cara baik kan, macam I feel like there are some people do look at me in that way lah.
Alright. Saiful, second question.
Okay, this one this is the question that I really wanted to ask also.
Okay.
What were you thinking bila buat content duduk dalam bathtub ramai-ramai dengan perempuan Cina?
This I really want to
Oh
know.
my god, that. Oh yeah,
I'm not
that
saying
YouTube video.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I'm kind of jealous also at the same time.
Okay. Wow. Aku lupa video tu ada. So it started. It started when I went to KL. So Chen Hao had this food show.
Okay.
Dia tengah filming. Habis tu ada free time lah. Food show, shoot. Ridwan, you also got YouTube channel. You never make content lah. I okay, I make video lah. When can I shoot? You shoot today lah. Today. Okay lah. I text people from west lah. Mungkin Malaysia. I got a few Instagrammer lah, perempuan-perempuan daripada KL datang. So bila datang, they say like, okay, I can come for the shoot. I come for the shoot, and then after that I had no idea. Hi Rida, what are we doing today? We're doing Oyapiasum. One out, take out clothes and then go to the bathtub. Okay.
Oh, it was a random
Orang on aja.
On. And it went viral because orang Malaysia pun macam yang those people like, this Ridwan come to our country then what? But it was like a random video, but there was nobody being harmed or sexualized. It was just for fun.
Fun and games lah.
Fun and games lah. It was nothing sexy or suggestive. It was just kau biasa kau kalau buka basuh habis masuk bathtub dalam ada ais.
How was the backlash?
I think I don't see backlash. Kadang-kadang I see 15 million views. I don't see backlash lah.
Where's the lash?
I'm fine lah. 15 million views. Okay lah.
Views matter
Aku nak pergi toilet. Legit rabak gila.
Kau ni astaga. Dia selalu tahu macam gini. Kau tengok.
Tengok dia lari.
Oh, kau nak pergi bathtub pun dia.
Dia kau tahu tak, dia dah banyak episod kan, selalu macam gini. Habis kalau kita orang buat kan, nanti dia muka macam alamak dia nilai sekali. Tapi sekarang kita apa? Kita buat tarik pasal dia.
Okay. So selalunya bila dia pergi toilet berapa lama?
Depends. Kalau dia berak, dia nanti ambil gambar, dia hantar kat orang.
Baru-baru ni aku sakit perut. Aku tak tahu boleh tunjuk gambar lah.
Oh, yang aku tunggu.
First time. Apa?
Yeah. Okay guys, if you all want to know right, the picture is fucking bad.
It's bad.
It's bad.
So I you know queen size bed. So the queen size bed is big kan. Imagine setengah atas suku of the queen size bed, color dia lain.
Yeah,
so that was bad. So
Oh my god, aku tak boleh.
yeah, it started from a kentut. Then after that I had to do a major cleaning.
So it started off as a kentut.
Yeah.
Then it becomes a
In
disaster.
a hotel room.
Yes.
No,
it's
it's
my
a
own-
home.
my
In your
own
own
room.
home.
Yeah.
Kena buang lah katil tu.
I got mesin yang sampai putih gila. So everything good.
Yeah.
Yes, Fas.
Kita tengah berbual pasal benda yang bagus-bagus.
Dia macam kau punya katak, tapi ni jadi pond.
Dia sebenarnya tadi bila kau bring up pasal video bathtub tu, aku teringat flashback.
Apa?
Tu yang aku pergi toilet jap.
Oh kan fikirkan air dan terkeluar air. Okay.
Bukan.
Habis?
Teringat orang-orang yang dia masuk dalam bathtub dengan.
Aduh.
Bulan puasa guys, bulan puasa.
Tak apa, live dah mati pun.
Okay, so
Yeah.
sorry, continue conversation
Yeah.
tadi.
So kita orang tadi tengah berbual pasal katak kau jadi dia punya tempat jadi pond. Rabak je. Dia kau dah nampak gambar dia?
Nanti aku tunjuk kau. Cantik.
Cantik. Dia punya pond, aku bilang kau, setengah katil
Setengah katil.
setengah katil.
Just don't show me,
Ya,
please.
dia cakap it started off with a kentut.
Start lah kentut. Tapi dah keluar kan. Dia commit lah.
Dia kan komik.
Dia commit. Habis bila commit kan, dia keluar angin, dia keluar air, dia keluar solid. Three state of matter.
So the gas dulu, the gas
liquid. Habis tu dia top up dengan pop.
Solid.
solid.
Sampai sekarang soalannya macam mana daripada soalan bathtub tadi boleh sampai ke situ?
Pasal dia tanya aku, kau berapa lama dalam toilet? Aku cakap depends. Kalau dia tengah nak bikin katak kan, dia lama sikit.
Okay Kak Ana, the next question.
Okay, the next question. Dah
Lagu-lagu
Okay. Dah berapa banyak chin surgery you bikin?
Okay. So wow,
Ni mendalam.
tu dalam kulit.
Kau banyak kali kena
Tak,
okay, so about your chin, it has always been like that.
Everyone knows that I have a very small feature. My chin macam termasuk kena tumbuk gitu. So I do feel like my jaw also have some abnormality. When I went to Korea, I wanted to do a surgery. So diorang nak buat lower jaw surgery. They said it is important because it is for safety lah, because it looks very unhealthy. The way I chew my food in the when I grow older, it will be bad. But I cannot change that. So because I need to fix my braces, and it's a huge, kena potong sana potong sini. So it's not just aesthetic, but it's also health.
Okay.
And then after that I realised I cannot fix much. And then I realised banyak masa kena buat benda ni lah. So I've done so far chin filler and Botox. So and that is just to cover up the flaws, because at the end of the day, if you have confidence, you can create more content lah.
Correct. And standard lah, because of that. Like no, I think not everyone knows that it's because of macam health reasons. So tu yang buat lagi.
Ada video kat YouTube, kalau tengok dia punya structure of the bone kan, pelik lah, macam alien lah. Serius.
Tapi ni genetik ke? Macam you je yang ada ni?
All my adik-adik semua ada chin. Tak tahu, tiba-tiba
You're chinless.
chinless. Tak tahu mana keluar, tertinggal lah.
Patut nama Cina kau Ridwan Chin.
Aduh. Okay lah.
Okay,
The next soalan panas. Apa ni? Okay, kau dah lama kan dengan Chen Hao and Titan. Nak tanyalah, you have your own company as well, media punya company. For someone yang dah lama dengan Chen Hao and very close to Chen Hao, kenapa company kau not as big as Chen Hao yet?
So like I said, everyone has their own different timing. I can know every single move that Chen Hao will make, tapi timing, because kita go through different struggles.
Okay.
So my struggle will be starting from family, in terms of household. Maybe dia tak payah fikir banyak pasal bil-bil apa, tanah air pula. Tanah air tu apa?
Kira rental everything lah.
Rental ke atau
Living cost lah.
the living cost is lower, and tak banyak responsibilities. I had to take care of my siblings and everything. And then also minda tu belum matang back then. Dengan banyak orang notice my craft and everything, but I wasn't mature enough. So there are certain turns that were unturnable. Some can turn, but they will never be the same. So there were certain downs that are not as this. Chen Hao punya down tak down sangat tau. But my down sepatutnya down sampai terbaring, tak boleh up dah. But Alhamdulillah, I still can go up again and create my own name and create my own career. So everyone have their own masing-masing punya rezeki lah.
Alright. By the way, tell us more about kau punya this media company of yours. Like what is the direction that you're going to? Apa kau punya plan?
So for now, I feel Chen Hao and Ridwan. Chen Hao macam Iron Man, you know. They got everything. And when I go together with him, I'm like the Spider-Man. Kalau dekat dengan dia boleh kasih aku iron suit, apa so boleh kecepu. So it's stronger. I feel more enhanced. Dia punya next move atau dia punya he's a very wise man. Very wise man. He knows what's the next move to make in this whole very fast paced punya environment. So dia kata, hey guys, we all need to do this. Guys, we need to do that. And I am fortunate to see him in action in every move. But sometimes dia punya move laju pasal dia pun ada banyak anggota. For me, I only got the anggota tangan dan kaki sendiri je lah. So
But after today change lah, pasal dengar kau nak sign kita kan.
Betul apa? Kau tadi minta berapa?
Pasal tu salah satu request anak-anak Kak Ana lah. Dia cakap, Mami, Umi, make sure after this you get to act in Ridwan video.
Mana
InsyaAllah
mana kena rendah kat bathtub ni.
Bodoh lah.
Stress. It's a very common line. They always say, do you get it? Macam, kau buat YouTube Yeah. Untuk aku kat YouTube lah, untuk aku.
Yeah.
Aku tak tahu. It's like it's like one time okay, 2 time okay, but you kena hear 10 years kan. Tak tak ada originality now this time. Semua sama line. Masuklah cik pun nak masuk TV
Oh
atau
banyak. Kau dapat banyak lah.
ada masuk YouTube tu masuk. Aduh.
Terus ada resume je lah.
Every time I hear this. But if I really bring up the thing is everyone nak masuk. Tapi bila my pekerjaan, the ones that know my pekerjaan is my adik-adik. Boleh tolong abang? Tak nak ah. Orang tak nak. Orang tak nak pasal actually it is tough.
Correct.
Rasa macam kadang-kadang macam dera adik tu. Tapi I am very strict. I can be very funny, but in terms of if things don't go very well, I have a certain way lah.
Yeah.
So-
I think us creative minds definitely have that inner side. And whenever it comes to work and our the
Sounds
work
like someone we know, Saifullah. Yeah.
Kau punya cerita dengan kita semua sama actually sebenarnya. Tapi kau punya background story tadi dengan aku macam macam sama je.
Okay. Sai, next question.
Okay. Name one person you love to work with and one person you will never want to work with again, and why?
Love to work with Chen Hao. Siapa tak kan? Don't need to explain that part. Siapa tak suka?
Okay, why do you love to work
Why?
with Channel? Like what was it?
I think
apart from the duit lah.
Tak bukan pasal duit.
Kau had to saya.
When I know Chen Hao, dia gaji daripada NS 300 itu kan.
Kau lagi famous dari dia dulu.
Tapi gaji dia 300, bank dia lagi lebih 300 pun lebih. Tapi dia belikan watermelon juice, dia bayarkan makanan. Dia sikap untuk membelanja kawan-kawan dia tu masih ada. Walaupun ada 300 ke atau 300 juta ke whatever.
Dia generous lah.
Kira dia macam mindset Melayu Kira
Actually dia banyak kaum Melayu.
is it?
Daneron, Hakim, Yaya, actually the whole office kan.
Tapi semua kawan-kawan Melayu tu macam Cina. Termasuk kau. Itu masalah dia. Dia kira kan kau tahu some of the names yang kau mention, aku tak tahu pun dia Melayu until aku tahu nama dia.
Dia kira kan macam aku lah. Aku boleh tarik aku tak?
Dia selit.
Aku setengah Pinoy, setengah Cina, setengah Melayu lah.
Okay. Nanti masuk bathtub.
Dia punya interview semua kena masuk
Casting top.
segmen
baru.
Aku lupa video tu. Tiba-tiba keluar soalan. No, surprisingly it is still the most viewed video.
No shit Sherlock.
Tapi that was where my content tak masuk akal lah. Macam buat sembarang sempoi.
But sembarang every time goes what.
But now it feels like there are more eyeballs. Okay, ada macam ministers tengok. Habis ada macam I feel like there's that responsibility. Bila kanak-kanak watch my videos, I need to make sure that they can get something out of it. And it's filtered lah. I don't maki-maki, I don't talk about negativity. And bila marah, bila sedih, just don't post. Don't post.
So the directions of kau punya content that is being churned out is way different from last time lah.
I would say more filtered. Tapi tak semestinya I'm not being honest. Kalau kau cakap kau terlebih terbatas, I would just say Dona.
Dona. Tak dulu lah.
Alright, so okay. So kenapa dengan Chen Hao you like to work with? That's the question.
He knows well. He advise. And there's the chemistry. That chemistry is
important.
Tak boleh cari. I feel like he's my yin to my yang. And honestly, nak katakan dia punya wife, dia punya mak bapak, very cute, very supportive, everything perfect. Abi, dia punya best friend, apa ni aku kadang-kadang, there was a period of time I was staying with Chen Hao. Bangun pagi tengok dia punya parents perfect, dia punya wife perfect, dia punya children perfect, kereta dia perfect, semua perfect. Dia punya best friend aku tak perfect ni. I feel like I'm not good enough to be his best friend at times. Because I feel, and if I have any troubles, honestly, kalau I'm struggling back then, tak suka sibuk-sibuk, Ridan, you okay not? Fine. And I'll cover up with comedy. My coping mechanism bila sedih, I think back then I was very sedih. That's why I became comedian. I couldn't. I was a bit depressed. So pasal mak bapak cerai, habis tu tak banyak duit, tak cukup makan, and I saw a lot of violence in my household. So I think that's where berkelakar lah. So so when he often tell me, "Are you okay?" I will not try to. Pasal minda dia is begitu. I really look up to his minda. Nak tell my problem macam for what?
Correct.
So working him is the best. Chemistry, everything.
Okay. One person you don't want to work with. Maybe you have worked with before. No perangai dia, cara dia kerja, no more.
Actually, no Siapa Okay lah, but I would say my ex-girlfriend Nicole Chu. I will not work with her anymore because of it's weird. I would respect her new relationship. And I think back then we had a lot of traumatizing moments where dia punya cara kerja dengan my cara kerja is very different.
Okay.
But I do not know, maybe she's better now. It has been how long? Dah lama dah, 7 tahun dah break up dah. So I think I would not work with her. But maybe if there is a certain angle or direction, because in life there's nothing certain. You can work with anyone, and maybe with the uncomfortability and the tak minat nak bekerja is the best content.
Yang kau sebut ni yang jadi kecoh big huha tu yang
Yes, ada kecoh dia. There were a lot of violence and a lot of aggression from both parties. But the thing is, bila lelaki kata aku kena sepak ke, kena tumbuk ke, berdarah ke, Diorang akan gelak. So honestly speaking, there's no point for me to tell siapa tumbuk lebih, siapa sepak lebih, siapa muka lebih kemek ke, lebih berdarah ke. It was supposed to be something private, but it terkeluar. Dah terkeluar, and now do I need to explain siapa salah? I think both parties were not able to be there for each other, and pematangan dia belum lagi ada. Both salah.
Okay.
Terus deep je.
Kak Ana, the next question.
Okay, next one. So earlier you mentioned kan there was a period of time yang where you left Jahau, and then it was a huge drama kan. Tadi kita dah discuss about that. So then after that you lowerkan sikit and you DM him back. Kan? So is it you cannot sustain without his fame?
Okay.
I think that's a lot of people were mentioning that.
Like
because that was the thing that people see.
Okay, so if you go to my YouTube channel, I made a song with all the kata-kata yang semua kata you have no more friends right now, you need Chien Hao, without Chien Hao you're nothing. It's in a song I wrote. It's called Fuck Ridwan Azman. You go check it out. I wrote every single cacat celah that I have ever done in my life. Sepak perempuan, kau dayus, bapak kau meninggal, kau kurus macam kak barang, everything orang kata I made into a song. I made into a whole entire song. Kau Boyz II Men sekat berapa scene, sekarang kau dah tak ada movie, semua compile. I made a song and I whack myself. It's called Fuck Ridwan Azman. So I let my mother listen to the song. My mother nangis asal abang cakap kata-kata macam itu to yourself. But to me it felt good. It felt empowering. When I embrace whatever I can ever say to myself. Kau nak cakap ni semua, aku dah cakap 10 tahun lepas dengan dalam sebuah lagu yang sedap didengar. So I feel like there's no kata-kata yang can hurt me because it's all in a song.
And distract to yourself
Damn, that's fucking awesome.
Kau tak ada kawan, kau tak ada semua, everything. Siapa? Kau tak ada muka kau macam connect ke apa. Oh nampak aku cakap connect. Aku cakap
finally satu terkeluar.
Yes,
finally we got it.
But then I think like you say, when you let your mum hear, right, for a mum, right, to listen to his her son talking about things that people say about yourself, right? Well, I think it will be very berat for her.
She pasal to her all this while there were haters that were bashing me. Dia boleh tengok tapi dia pun nak online. It was very painful for my family.
Tak ada, something weird is happening right now. Pasal kita punya live ni dah termati tau. Jadi you know dalam TikTok live, kalau dia mati and kau tak off it will automatically go into the next person's live in your following list. And it has been switching from one Chinese lady to another back to back from just now.
Okay. Aku nak read. Sabar. Aku nak read out favor satu kali je. Aku nak read out dia punya apa ni? Username dia.
Okay.
SG Massage Spa.
Tengok dia pada belah.
Aku tak follow tau.
Unplanned soalan.
Kenapa dia komen algoritma macam itu sebenarnya?
You know that TikTok always pushes content according to your algorithm that you have been searching for.
I think because they know I love Chinese music, Chinese content. Ni jauh sangat ni.
Ni massage.
So kalau kita swipe sekarang ni, dia tak keluar lagi lah kira-kira.
Kita swipe.
Okay, try. Kita try.
Ni apa?
Perempuan Cina lagi.
Semua perempuan Cina lah.
Algorithm lah.
Algorithm
ni
blame on the algorithm.
Okay.
Just nice to the next question.
Okay, so the next question, and this is the last Sembang Panas question. Brief dulu.
Okay. Ni ketiak basah sah.
Kenapa ex-girlfriend, or maybe, and also maybe even current girlfriend, kau semua Cina? Melayu bukan standard kau ke?
Okay. So this is salah faham because I have dated Malay girls, but they never went far. I go on a date with a Malay girl. Tapi actually when secondary school.
Oh, secondary.
And the chances of me meeting Malay girls in my work area, takkan nak cakap pergi sekolah. Okay, sekolah banyak Melayu, tapi bila in my workplace banyak Cina. So when I go events pun Cina. So the chances of bumping into a Malay girl is rare. And the common things that we talk about is we would love to talk about music. Kalau kau bawa aku KTV, aku nyanyi lagu Cina banyak. Tetapi kalau banyak Melayu, aku akan nyanyi lagu Melayu lah.
Kau pergi mana recently?
Karaoke.
Karaoke.
KTV kan karaoke. Apa?
Melayu banyak pergi ke studio. Ke Teo Heng ke.
Okay.
Pasal dia nyanyi lagu Cina.
Lagu Cina.
KTV.
Yang betul-betul untuk nyanyi ni. Apa?
It's okay.
It always starts from nyanyi.
Yeah, it's not.
Aduh.
Dah stress.
Then it goes by tower and tower.
From aku dengar lah podcast
from
orang lain,
from
it's just
dengar.
only the last few minutes.
But I like to sing Chinese song. And the comment, I grew up watching Chinese movies pun. Alah, dia punya macam kita kalau tengok K-pop banyak, and then you will like people who like K-pop. And it's not about race. I think cakap pasal Melayu tak ada standard. I remember I follow a friend to a club. Okay.
Club mana club?
Okay, it's a club lah. It's a club. And banyak orang Melayu. Then I'm like, okay, cool. Watching. See, I never been to a club
Malay
full
club.
of Malay club. Never. First time macam tengok
Double O.
Ada chat double O baru nak cakap.
Double O tu itu lama sangat lah tu. Okay, but anyway, this girl, and like, hey Ridwan. Okay, I need Ridwan. Selalu try Cina, nak try perempuan Melayu.
Sabar, kau punya type ke bukan?
No, I mean dia lawa tu apa, tapi dia punya pick up line macam, hoi. Friend outside.
Rasa diperkosa di mana?
First time pick up line Melayu.
Direct ah.
Selalu dengan Cina nak try Melayu. Nak try Melayu? Apa try? Try apa? Cotton on apa ni? Try ni apa? That was the first pick up line in Malay lah. So far.
Tapi kau tak try lah?
I did try to like a Malay girl last time. Dia budak kampung. Tapi daripada JB. Tapi
Apa cai-ci?
budak JB. Dia buka TikTok, nampak cute pakai tudung. Try lah.
Okay.
Tapi nak jumpa dia, pergi JB. Habis kita berbual, dah buka puasa, everything, sahur apa.
Oh, bulan puasa.
Bulan puasa I found love during bulan puasa on TikTok. Habis tu dia TikToker pun. Ada dalam 200,000 ke 300.
Oh, so must be kita kenal lah.
You guys guess ada pakai tudung dengan dekat dengan JB. Anyway, so dia terlepas
Lagi dapat Cina keluar.
and then after that I realised during circuit breaker. So we do not know when will we ever meet. So from pen pal tak pernah jumpa till we never met and then done. Texting aja lah. You dah makan, dah buka puasa.
Nampak? So girls take note, Ridwan is not the long distance relationship type of guy.
Yeah.
Dia tak boleh gatal.
No, it's just like I need.
Dia dah jaga tau.
Aduh, stress.
Ada stress terus.
Jaga 我是马来人
But who knows? I do not know. I don't stick it to one race. Sometimes who knows next time.
Wait, what?
I don't stick it to one race.
That sounds so.
Fikir balik.
I don't.
Kau repeat balik
Let it roll.
Let it sink in,
roll
Ridwan.
and sink in what you
I
just
just
said.
don't stick it. I don't stick to one race.
Okay guys, kita akan jumpa korang di episod seterusnya Sembang Panas. Kita dah sampai ke penghujung dia. And untuk sesiapa yang belum follow Ridwan, bidik lah. Ni patut kita cakap untuk follow Ridwan yang belum follow. Follow lah kita. And also follow lah Abang Ridwan kita. I would say dalam banyak-banyak people out there that I've met yang kirakan ada nama, Ridwan is definitely one of the most humble person that I've met. Tak pernah lokek ilmu dengan kita, always willing to share, always giving us opportunities as well. So and also Ridwan, tak nak promote kau punya company ke? Korang follow ke?
Follow me guys. I am still Melayu. Para pendengar Alkisah, terima kasih untuk memberi sokongan kepada kita. Anda bersama kita, Budak Subang Jaya. Okay. Selamat berbuka. Ni bila keluar? Dah puasa ke dah lepas?
Besok keluar.
Oh, laju tu. Selamat berbuka puasa. Datang ke Bedok North Avenue 3,
Okay.
131.
Before you end, one advice untuk semua orang yang look up to you, especially the younger generation. Silakan.
Ingat Allah. Ketawa. Asal ketawa gede.
Sebab politik gila.
Ingat Allah, ingat seni, ingat Melayu. Okay.
Tapi yang Cina
Yalah, ingatlah. Tapi do everything. Ingatlah. Because sometimes kita akan lupa dalam dunia yang begitu laju, fast pace. Remember your akar umbi as a anak Melayu. And don't be afraid of trying to be anything you want to be. Don't be number one, be only one. Thanks to you, Ridwan.
Ridwan B. Okay guys, jadi macam dia cakap tadi, kita dah sampai ke penghujung podcast. Thank you so much Ridwan for coming on board. Tapi untuk semua kita punya listeners, jangan ke mana-mana. Kita akan jumpa korang sebentar saja nanti dengan kita punya penaja kita daripada Ace Realtors SG. Jumpa korang sebentar saja nanti.
You are now listening to Sembang Panas Podcast.
Alright guys, so sekarang ni kita bersama dengan Ejen Wow, Ejen Hilmi, dengan anaknya Ejen Wow Junior. Tak apa yang dikenali Wow 2.0. Ejen Humaira. Macam tak style dia panggil Ejen lah
Tak style lah.
Style lah.
Tak, dia macam direct, you know.
In business lah like that.
Okay guys, so kita ada a few things yang kita nak tanya lah kepada korang. Like recently, I don't know if you guys were aware, there was a viral article pasal this young Chinese couple yang actually diorang tunggu BTO, and I think that diorang try apply many times, tak dapat and all that. So diorang, what they did was diorang rent dekat JB sambil tunggu BTO diorang. And kita pun tahu BTO sekarang pun siap pun takes a few years, I think. And a lot of couples face that problem. Face that problem. So how does this kind of thing macam happen a lot in the market dekat luar ke macam mana?
Okay, I answer this. I'm not surprised they ran because they can't wait. as you say, because you need to wait at least 3, 4, 5 years before the BTO ready. It's not wrong. Okay, it depends on individual. If you need to work, let's say 8 o'clock in the morning, and you stay in JB, what time you think you want to wake up?
Kena anticipate the jam and all
Yes,
that kan.
this is must be calculated. You see, this kind of thing must be calculated. Unless you self-employed,
Work from home.
you work from home. You see, your timing is not fixed 8 to 5 job. So you can do that because rental in JB, the conversion and all that is cheaper, so much cheaper. You can do that, and standard of living is not as high as Singapore. Of course, you can save a lot. When you work in Singapore, you stay in JB. Of course, you save a lot. A lot more you save. But thinking of if your there's a timing for you to go to work, then it's not right. It's not right. Not right for you to wake up early 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, nak tempuh to jam and everything, terus masuk kerja to reach office before 8 o'clock. So it's not right.
But it's an interesting option lah. Like when I read it, I was like, it's quite interesting. Pasal ada orang kan, not everybody has the rumah mak bapak nak tinggal. Not everybody has families house to stay. So if they have the capacity to go to JB and then come back to and fro, then that could be an option lah, which is I think quite interesting. And especially pasal couples yang beli BTO, dorang belum ada budak-budakan, belum ada children. So that helps them even more. It's just the two of them je apa. Dorang sacrifice 3-4 years then dapat BTO. So I think it's depends on your situation lah. Yeah.
Okay, I nak tanya like macam because even for myself dulu kan, bila nak kahwin, I was actually planning to take BTO. And there were a few reasons lah, definitely. One of the reason and one of the main reason was because I decided not to take BTO. I took resale pasal I wanted a bigger house. Kita pun tahu like, kita dengar banyak kali BTO forum sekarang compared to BTO forum resale one is much bigger kan. So and another one of the issue that I faced was bila nak ambil BTO tu, I needed to wait 4 years.
That's right.
And next year dah nak kahwin ni. Next year dah nak kahwin, sekarang baru pergi apply kan. So tu one of the problem. And nak kena tunggu 4 tahun. Rumah mak bapak penuh, rumah in-laws pun penuh. So there was no place that we can go to. And then the reason why we wanted BTO in the first place, pasal kita dengar diorang cakap it's boleh sewa sambil menunggu tu. But then bila when kita try to sewa, the rental was not as what kita selalu dengar orang cakap 600, 500.
Yes, the rental is based on your income actually. Because the subsidized rental is all more to the lower income, about 1,500 household income. Household income 1,500 below, then you can get maybe cheap rental.
That's direct from HDB lah.
Direct from HDB. If you get more than that, then
resale rental,
open market
open market rental lah. Then it's not cheap.
Okay, but kalau gitu like what are some options that is out there untuk couples out there? Because sekarang macam if you nak cakap macam that ceiling 1,500 for both husband and wife, definitely sekarang tak ada. Even one person pun definitely dah more than 1,500 already. So what korang punya advice untuk those yang nak dapat ni tapi tak ada tempat nak tinggal?
Okay, there's this new policy that HDB put in place. I think Umaira will explain to you.
It's like there's this new thing. It's called like macam rental voucher yang the government bagi for families who are waiting for their BTO. So means you rent on the open market, tapi you get macam vouchers for you to help with the cost lah. So I'm not sure exactly bila dia keluar, tapi kan you need to have a monthly household income of up to 7,000. So diorang ada ceiling
so
juga,
it's higher
7,000
instead of 1,500 lah.
Yes, that one is the 1,500 is to help lower income, but this one is specifically to help couples yang tengah tunggu BTO.
But diorang punya combined income must be
7,000 maximum.
Oh, maximum. Okay. How much is the voucher that we are talking about?
There's no specific amounts yet yang diorang. This is a new initiative lah. Belum ni. But apa yang orang cakap, there's like a double-edged sword. Pasal with these vouchers, it macam forces landlords to maybe naikkan the price of the rental. So that's something to take into consideration
So
juga.
it might come back to the same.
But it might lah. Belum pastilah.
Belum. Yes, correct.
Okay, and when is this initiative being gonna be rolled out?
It was released in February, tapi actually the start not too sure the exact ni.
But just now when you
belum keluar lagi.
Belum. I think belum.
Just now when you say landlord, right? Do you mean like those landlords that own the place but then decide to rent out the HDB? So that means kita orang technically staying there without anybody there lah, basically.
Yeah, the whole house.
Rent the whole house
Yeah, rent the whole house.
So that means macam gitu kan, Duk. Kalau lain kali kau nak jual rumah kau, or you own the place already, you buy another house, you can rent that to another family.
Kau berbual macam beli gula-gula kat kedai mama.
Yeah. But in the first place also you can't purchase another property until you sell your current property.
Yes.
Okay. To buy another HDB, you are not allowed.
Okay.
Because you only allowed to
Every Singaporean one.
one.
Yes.
Yeah.
But to buy another property, like say a private property, you are allowed to do that.
So each Singaporean can actually hold one HDB only one.
Yes.
Private property.
After HDB, you can buy private property. But if you already bought a private property, you can
Purchase
buy a
HDB.
Purchase HDB.
Okay.
Because HDB, is subsidized housing for the Singaporean.
Mass it's for mass market, right? HDB at the end of the day.
Okay, but if you actually hold, you own one HDB, you can still buy private on top of that. Tak payah nak kena jual dulu.
Tak payah. Of course, there's taxes that you need to pay lah.
Yeah.
You gotta have the money basically.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Kalau dah tinggal HDB, ada duit nak beli private, duit tak ada hal lah.
Exactly.
Okay, I just want to ask like, so does that mean that if let's say for example newly couples yang nak beli rumah, and then for example diorang punya rumah mak bapak semua penuh, and diorang tak nak tinggal kat JB, there is no other option than to rent dekat the open market?
Try to get from HDB. Of course, it's so much cheaper than open market. Open market now, a 3-room flat can go up to 2,500, 3,000. A 3-room flat. There is only 2 bedroom. 2 bedroom. But if you get direct from HDB, it's much more cheaper.
Because for me, right, there was a case where I actually purchased my house, right, and I was trying to do rental also initially, and then suddenly I stumbled upon this thing that suddenly appeared on HDB website, where it appears only once in a while. I think it's called open booking.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I managed to purchase my flat. Right, next month I get my keys already. Like instantly. Is that an option also for
to sell a balance flat?
This sales of balance flat.
Yeah.
They start with BTO, habis sale of balance flat, which is the balance of BTO yang tak terjual. Then after that they have open booking.
Okay, so the sales of balance flat is not only a new HDB. It can be an old estate. Okay, and maybe the estate is already 30-40 years, and someone maybe return back to HDB the unit, so they sell out to
Those yang default payment ke or something like that lah.
Default payment normally HDB buat.
Okay.
So basically I buy over somebody who
Yeah, correct. If you buy the resale flat, that means
no wonder macam the price also actually not that bad.
Okay
lah. Okay.
To compare with BTO, okay, BTO when you apply a BTO, they launch is that particular year price. Correct. But once it's already sales of balance flat, the unit already built up.
1-2 years.
So 1-2 years. So the valuation is based on the price when you purchase. So we can increase maybe 20-30%.
Okay, I nak tanya you guys, I don't know whether it's true or not. Ada yang kita dengar lah, for couple yang face this kind of issues. Kadang there were some cases yang diorang berbual dengan the agent, their housing agent. The agent help them to write in, and diorang appeal gitu, and they get macam either they get the house much earlier, ataupun walaupun diorang punya income was more than 1,500, diorang get to rent from a cheaper place by HDB themselves. Has there ever be a case macam gitu dengan you guys ke macam mana?
Okay, normally for BTOs application they do themselves.
BTO is direct with HDB.
Yeah, direct with HDB.
So
but there's old couple who need our help and they want to buy now they call it community care apartment.
Yes, CCA.
Community care apartments.
Yeah.
Okay.
There is a balance list of how old they are up to the age of 90. 90? Yeah, 90, 95 around there. So if they're age 60, so they can buy the balance list of the flat another 30 years. So that one is so much cheaper, but they got to pay everything.
Tak boleh ambil loan.
Tak boleh
Tu
ambil
nak
loan.
kena bayar full.
Bayar full.
So normally that kind of cases they will ask us to apply for them.
But that one is applicable only for the elderly lah.
Yes, after 55.
So the young ones tak boleh tap
No,
on that.
cannot.
Okay,
Cannot.
okay.
Yeah.
The young ones they will apply for the 99 years lease.
Yeah.
Okay, so with everything yang kita have discussed this past 10 minutes lah, apa you both of you punya advice to especially young couples yang definitely buying a house is definitely something that they have to do.
Yeah.
Jadi apa you punya advice untuk diorang?
Okay, for newly-wed couple or before their wedding, maybe they are engaged already, they want to apply. They know they're going to get so much later. We would advise them to get a BTO because maybe they want to get married in 2 years' time. Get engaged already, apply now. So your waiting time will be shorter. You
Which is
know,
basically what I did lah.
before
Yeah.
you know after your marriage, you know you got nowhere to stay. So, but at least you have that short period of time, maybe another 1 or 2 years. You rent. If you have the means, you go out to private rental lah. Well, that means it's open market rental lah. If you can't, then you appeal from HDB till you get the place lah. Because there always a place for you to stay. But some people don't want to do the appealing. They appeal once,
Then
they didn't get it, then they give up. They say, I appeal, you cannot get. But okay, HDB or all the government agency, they want to see how much you need. You see, see how urgency you need. The urgency,
Urgency,
the urgency. So when you appeal, continue appealing first. You didn't get it second time, third time. They might give it to you. Sooner or later they will give it to you. But you appeal once, then 6 months later you appeal once, then
So dia macam nak kena pester.
Yes,
pester.
yes,
Show
yes,
them
yes,
that
yes.
you
it's
actually
urgency. You need a place to stay.
So does an appeal coming from an agent will give more weight daripada kita buat sendiri?
No.
So answer no.
Oh really? Kita tak tahu like certain jargons ke certain way yang
you
kita
can
nak
ask
kena
us
praise
for advice, then we tell you lah. But appealing must be
done from the
By them.
by them
the
themselves.
buyer themselves.
But agent banyak kan dia tak layan.
Dia dapat agent apa? Because you are the buyer, right? You are the one who needs help.
Yeah, then
So they will know everything and nak kena cakap their stories semua apa. So kalau by agent, you're just helping. That macam sincerity.
It's from a third person perspective lah.
Yes, correct.
Because we heard many times lah orang cakap pasal kalau agent yang tolong tuliskan
correct.
ataupun agent ada mungkin agent punya template much better, so it's much easier to get the appeal.
Yeah, it's our day-to-day job.
We
We know what to say.
Exactly,
We got to
yeah.
ask you first what is
Situation.
your situation you want, your need. Then from there, then we
Advise
advise you accordingly.
Okay, so sekarang kita dah faham. So rupanya dia bukan, maksudnya dia bukan orang tu suruh agent tu hantarkan.
Yeah.
Tak boleh.
Orang
You
tu
go to
phrase
the
kan.
agent to help phrase for me.
Kalau agent yang hantar dia tak layan langsung.
Itu dia guys. Okay guys, kita harap korang semua dapatlah tangkap these few tips and tricks lah. So jangan apa yang korang dengar tu kat luar sana, jangan membabi buta. Oh kita dengar ni boleh, tu boleh. Tanya orang-orang yang lebih berpengalaman
Tanya Ace
seperti
Realtors.
kawan-kawan kami daripada Ace Realtors SG. Untuk masyarakat
Demi masyarakat. Jangan lupa untuk follow teman-teman kami on all their socials, Instagram and TikTok on acerealtors.sg.
Okay, so kalau korang nak beli rumah ke, nak jual rumah ke, tak payah pening-pening kepala, korang boleh hubungi saja ejen-ejen yang bertauliah daripada acerealtors.sg.
Korang juga boleh terus hubungi mereka di talian 88779923 88779923.
Oh tak ada, yang penting first time aku nampak kira Saiful sebut nombor tu dia tak tengok phone.
Dah, aku dah biasa dah.
Masa sponsor kan dapat. Kita akan jumpa korang di episode terus
Sembang Panas.
Betul, tak ada sorok-sorok, ini podcast cakap betul. Tak ada sorok-sorok, ini podcast cakap betul. Tak ada sorok-sorok, ini podcast cakap betul. Tak ada sorok-sorok, siapa-siapa boleh go, semua kita undang. Siapa berani masuk, jangan sebab temberang. Alkisah bikin panas macam goreng pisang, itu sudah terang. Panggil semua geng yang minat duduk, jom masuk gelanggang. Jom masuk studio, dan berapa banyak idol kita kasih sampai viral. sikit saya dapat title. Ini sembang panas, it's not for the weak. Ini sembang panas, real life on the mix. Boom. Sembang panas, 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 panas. Sembang panas, 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 panas. Sembang panas, 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 panas. Sembang panas, 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 panas.